Hey guys, Thunderstruck MTB here. Today, going to look at my brand new OneUp Components 35 millimeter carbon, 35 millimeter rise bar, and the OneUp stem. So this is replacing a Synthase 31.8 stem and Renthal fat bar carbon bars. So I've been on Renthal for quite a while now, and they are 7 back and 5 up. And while I really like the way they feel descending, it puts you in a nice attack position because the 7-degree back sweep is actually a pretty flat bar. And I really like how that felt descending. Nice attack mode, kind of elbows up feel. For the other 80% of my ride, I was getting and have been getting some wrist pain. Not harshness, just wrist pain towards the end of my long rides. And I have also tried Deity Black Label bars, and they are a 9.5, and those always felt too far swept back. And so I had those for, I don't know, a year or so, but they always felt too choppered back, too swept back. And so I immediately thought, well, you know what? Let me go to the Renthal, like them on my moto. Let's go ahead and go on the bike with them. And I just kind of went straight from a 9-degree to a 7-degree, and that was that. So I've been kicking around for a while, the OneUp bars. I got a 20% discount, and I thought, you know what the hell? Went ahead and picked them up. So again, these are the 35 mil clamp, 35 mil rise, and they are 8 back and 5 up. So Renthals are 7 back, 5 up, and these are just a little bit further back, and they have a little different feel. Stem is different. My Synthase stem was 50 mil with a 6-degree rise. The OneUp stem is a 50 mil 0-degree rise. I'm going to put a really nice stem calculator link online where you can play with what happens to your bars with the geometry of your bike and spacers under the stem and whatnot, and reach, and you can kind of see what happens. But my bars are basically the exact same position I had them with this stem being a 0-degree stem versus 6, because now I got a little more reach and it was lower, but I added 5 mil rise. But what I did do was put my hands in a real nice position, and I've got 4 rides on it, and my wrist pain is noticeably less, if not all but gone, on my long rides. And it felt a little different for the first ride, like everything does, but by the end of the first ride, everything was kind of back to normal again in terms of how the bike felt. And it just seems like my hands are in a little more swept back position at all times, and the wrist pain is much better. As for harshness, how do I describe the vibration, the harshness on the quick high frequency stuff compared to my 31.8 Renthal fat bar carbons? Whatever OneUp did with that ovalization here, they ovalized this part, and they're the reason I went with the OneUp. They're the only bar company I talked about doing something different in this part and ovalizing this to get a little bit more compliance. And I'm not a big fan of the 35 mil stem clamp interface. I think it's not needed. That's why I stayed with 31.8 for the longest time. But I converted here and I went with OneUp only because they talked about trying something different. So again, back, how does it feel? Feels wooden. This feels more wooden, and the OneUps feel more dead. Maybe the difference in going from a 120 TP lightweight cross-country tire to like a double down 60 TP, where it just feels a little more, again, I hate to, wooden, dead, is how it feels. I don't feel any flexing in any way, but there is something happening here with this bar setup than there was with the Renthal fat bar carbons, and I like it. That's not the reason I got them. I was curious of what they'd feel like, and I'm really happy. I think they look cool. The stem's nice. The stem is much heavier. So this setup here was 62 grams heavier than my other setup. I added a lot. I added basically all the weight. I think I added 58 grams. The bars were like 4 grams heavier. I think I added 68. Sorry, I didn't look at my notes before this. Compared to my Syntage stem, which is known as a very light stem. But yeah, this stem's cool. The no gap stem, on it goes. Everything's fine. Super high quality, really nice finish. 20% off. And yeah, my hands at that one degree difference. From 7 degrees to 8 degrees, doesn't sound like a lot on paper. It feels like a lot, but it's not as swept back as the 9s. No shit Sherlock, right? So anyway, I'm really happy with these. My other setup is just sitting here. Gonna probably collect dust for a while. I'll keep it as a backup in case, and then I'll probably just sell off on eBay because I'm that happy with these. So anyway, I hope I answered any questions you have. I tried to get everything in this. And I appreciate you guys watching until the very end. All right, guys. See ya.